How you doing, gardeners? It's Snyder of Fresh Picked Acres, and today we're talking about side dress and sweet corn. It's that time for me. My sweet corn is hitting that V6 to V7 stage out here, and I certainly want to be able to push some of my sweet corn, make a much better ear as we go on. So I'm applying an additional 30 pounds of nitrogen to the acre, which is, I'm using urea, so I'm applying 60 pounds of total pounds of urea. That's what it is. So how am I going to get my urea evenly distributed through my garden or through my fields? And I kind of came up with a novel way, and many of you have probably already done it. I talked to a friend of mine, Scott Thompson. He does something similar with his feather meal and with his meat and bone meal and blood meal. And what I'm using is a Earthway Seeder, and I tried different seed discs to make this work. And I think right now I'm pretty much actually set on the corn setting, because you don't want to have a lot of seed or a lot of fertilizer dropping at any one spot. You want it trickling down the field. And I tried the smaller ones, and it kind of struggles. You know, the urea, does have a little bit of density. So anyway, bottom line is I'm going to apply this down each row on one side to begin with. And if my calculations, if you want it, my dead reckoning works out all right, and where I have a little bit extra, well, I can come back and apply it on the opposite side. Go ahead and spread that out a little bit. But right now I'm using the Earthway Seeder so that I can probably band my urea. Now I want to show you something. I did do one test run right over here. You can see how that lays out a nice band of fertilizer, and puts it right underneath of the drip line. Nitrogen actually is a movable nutrient. The rain will push that down in the ground. I'll come back in after I'm all done. I'm going to put a little bit of soil over the top of it, run a little hoe, make sure that it gets kind of covered a little bit, because it is volatile as well. But we have some rains coming tomorrow. Today's the day I want to get it, so that this way, by applying it underneath of that drip line, this way it will go in, make it to the roots, and we ought to see a nice jump in our sweet corn. So let's go ahead and get on this. It's just time. It's time of year to go ahead and push our sweet corn, make a better ear. There's a couple of things we can influence right now, and that's we're right around ear size formation, and then a little bit later on we start getting into kernel weight and that type of a thing. But right now we're trying to push that ear size. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Join me. So I've ran a few rounds through here, or, you know, I've been going down several rows. And let me say that there is one variation that I see, that as the Earthway does get lower as far as the volume, so does the volume of the amount that you are spreading at one time. Whereas you can see, like, this row does have a little bit more, as does this row. And then we finally get over here to where it's starting to run low again, about halfway empty, and the volume goes down. Is that a bad thing? Well, maybe I don't think so, but I think to be consistent, try to maintain. Let me grab my shovel here. or my scoop. And what I'm going to do to maintain some form of, let me scoop this up. I'm going to kind of try to maintain a little bit of consistency. Let's just keep that above the center wheel. This way I have a consistent amount of, so every time I go up and back, I'll refill this a little bit just to have a consistent amount of nitrogen being applied. Other than that, I'm real pleased with the way it's spreading, and it's you know, it's discriminate. I'm not going through it so fast that I'm going to run out. After I finish this area, and you'll notice probably the way the rains have hit, this is a little steeper over here, but you notice this corn's a lot further behind as far as, you know, maturity, and it's a lighter green, a lot of more nutrient, less dense type of, and we've gotten just as much rain here as we have over there. But I do think there's been some challenges regarding the amount of rainfall we've gotten, because like I said, the one rain was 4.5 inches, so probably kind of hard to maintain a good amount of nutrition up here on the steeper part of the hill. I also have that half of the field over there that I still have to do. So I'm a little bit out to lunch regarding whether or not I need to go ahead and go on both sides of the plant. It'll be a learning curve. So this way, the second half of my field over here, or you know, my second and third planting, I can better judiciously evaluate, you know, whether I can go up and down each of my corn rows at one time or whatever. So it's a learning curve for me on this one. I want to make everyone aware of that, but there are some things I have noticed that the lower the nitrogen gets, urea gets inside of there, you're gonna start seeing a little variation in the amount that's being dropped. So like right here on these 2 rows here, I was actually allowing it to kind of run empty. And you see, I'm gonna have to come back down this row and this row, because it's obviously dropped from its original deal. So yep, as you continue to use it, a little bit less is applied on each pass, and then all of a sudden you can see I refilled it, and you notice how much more nitrogen is actually being applied. So it's a learning curve. I'm going to maintain something. I'm not saying that is 100% right over that, but I do want to be consistent in how we apply the fertilizer. So the first step I'm going to do here with the Earthway is I am going to try to maintain just covering up that center hub on here after each pass, and then that way I can have a very consistent fertilizer banding. That's important for us right now. So all right, I better keep going here. It ain't going to take me long to finish this now, and now that I kind of got a little bit more of an idea, so I'm excited about it. Still have a lot of fertilizer left. I mean, we got 60 pounds in there. Applying 30 pounds to the acre is the rate that we're going. So let's see how we do. We'll keep going. Okay, so I finished my early corn here as far as the banding, and I went ahead and elected to do a double band on each side of the corn. It looks like I'm going to be just fine when it comes to volume. And the second thing I can't emphasize enough is about every 200 foot, you know, it's 100 up and 100 back, I was actually taking my scoop and ensuring that I was above the hub on the Earthway. That way, each time I had a consistent amount of fertilizer being dropped, something that's measurable to some degree. You follow what I'm saying? So this looks good. This looks real good. So anyway, I'll probably come back in here scratch some of this in. I still have the big field to do. That's going to be a different story there. I'll have to carry the bucket up, you know, every so many paces and refill and that type of thing. That's okay. That's what I'm here for today. And we're going to find out, you know, to me, this is a big science project. To me, this is something there that I want to find out, is this going to be feasible for my farm? So this is a big deal, you know, to me, in the sense of how economical is this, and can I get a return on doing this? This isn't just to have the prettiest looking ears in the country. And I started double banding when I got down to this spot down here, and we can see how much weaker it is. And I said, well, one way or the other, I'm going to go ahead and put double the amount of nitrogen on that particular part of the garden. And then once I got going and I really wasn't going through a ton of fertilizer, I said, okay, I think I can just go ahead and continue this on. So doing a double band, refilling it every 200 feet, maintaining the amount of fertilizer seems to be working. So anyway, we're gonna see how I do. Like I said, I need to scratch this stuff in, but that's where we're at. So V6 is where we are doing this at, and we're starting to get, you know, some tillers on the bottom of the stalk. So I mean, that's common with sweet corn. I might be able to challenge my sweet corn a little bit so they don't put on tillers. I don't know if any of you guys have done high density sweet corn and practiced with any of that. I'd always be curious on that, to find out how to put the energy not into tillers, but put the energy into a good ear, one good ear. That's what we're looking for, right? So all right, I got a whole nother field. It's nice to have the first 5,000 ears side dress. We'll keep going here. Well, I'm out here in the big field and it's going very well. And just applying, let me go and fill this up for the next round. But just applying that urea and getting that applied. I'm kind of going up both sides. It's going, like I said, it's going well. So let's go and continue on here. It's just takes time. And I have a bucket halfway down the field, and I have a bucket on the other end. This way I can maintain the depth of in my seeder here. And you can see it coming down. It's just trickling out real nice, spreading it out right underneath the leaves, right underneath the drip line. If I don't get the rain tomorrow, I'll hook up the irrigation out here and we'll put a 1/2 inch on it. So I get to this stage out here, then I reach over here to my bucket and I just do a, let me move it above that. There we go. Oh, get that out of the leaf. Let's just do a refill there. Put that back in my bucket and we'll keep on it going. This is the second crop ever grown. We had the pumpkins out here last year, so it's still some. And I kind of struggled with some. I struggled with a little bit of weed control last year, so it's kind of rough. I'll admit that. It's almost like going through a first time no-till type of a farm, but it's coming. And you know, and it is. Whoop, there we go. It is a good way to scout. If you just don't walk through the field, just focusing only 100% on, there we go, we're kind of plugged up, there we go. Not just focusing on the task at hand, but observe whatever else. See, I have my bucket down here. So I'll go ahead and refill this. Give me a second. Nothing to it. I'll move my bucket over. Looks like I broke my plastic a little bit. That's all right. So let's go on down. But no, if you are observant and you're looking for more than just the task at hand, such as, you know, are you getting any, you know, how is your stand? Are you having deer troubles? Do you see any insects such as corn borer or anything like that? It's a little rough right in here. Corn borer and you know, whatever, Japanese beetles will be coming in, and all these things that you can look for phosphorus deficiencies in your crops. We could do tissue samples. It's a little out of my financial return at this time to start doing tissue samples and that type of thing, but maybe one day we'll really dial this sweet corn in and see if I can. So we look at this one. You see that that ear there? Now there's only one, but definitely got something in that whirl in there that's causing that damage. There's obviously some butter on my hands, but no, there's something there. It's only one. So that's okay, but if I had a lot of it, army worm will do that kind of stuff. It'll create a crud, things like that. So keep your eyes peeled as you go through the field. Let's go and refill up here in the middle. And I could definitely benefit from some starter fertilizer in the future. I would like to eventually set the planter up. There we go. I would like to set the planter up to get a little bit more. One of the things I'm seeing is a little irregular germination. Now, part of it was the time of year. Sweet corn is certainly not as hardy as, say, your as your field corn, but I'm thinking about getting a Keaton seed firmer put on my model 7000. I think that would help me with my with the corn's you know, uniformity in their germination. That's kind of been proven. That's not my gut saying that. That's actually proven. So we get down here to the row and I'll refill my bucket again. And I keep doing this because I'm trying to maintain uniformity in my crop. That's the purpose of having so many fill stations in here. And this one, I probably could have just gone down the middle of this one, couldn't I, and done it. But you know, again, it's uniformity, and we got to wash out here a little bit because that and the fact is I got my planter a little too close. I got down here to the end, whoop, sideways wipeout, there we go. And that's a tough one to do, there we go. But just, you know, and I tell you, this is also a middle row, and for whatever reason, it's always rougher between the two rows. So we'll go and refill it up. I'm gonna move this over, move it over one. So now I have my bucket over here, and we'll continue on. Just having a nice walk in my field. I'm about, I don't know, 250 feet. Foot long rows here. So I'm getting my steps in the day, earning my supper as I go down the field. I'm anxious to see how this all looks. And like I said, the scientist in me, not that I have any desire to be one, but or the economist in me, or the businessman, whatever you want to say, wants to know, how economical is this? What's the outcome of my corn? I personally can't wait. So let's go on down. We got one more. I'll put you guys down at the other end. Let's fill that up. There we go. Using about, I don't know, 32 ounces. Not even quite that. 32 ounces per row, I guess, or a little bit more. Yeah. I am happy to have you along. Isn't this is I know, you know, if you know you continue to get better at it, eventually, you know, you make a little bit more money, you increase, you get a piece of equipment, or you expand and you grow more of your crop, and you get a piece of equipment that I'm no longer walking up and down the road. Not like I said, it's not bad for me, but all of a sudden you're in the tractor and you're spending the same amount of time, but you're doing twice as much land, and it justifies the new piece of equipment. And on top of it, you already have more uniform corn to begin with because of your economics are better. So let me dump some more in here. There we go. And this will be the last part. I'll have you guys come walking on down. You guys are on, aren't you? Yep. So we'll go and finish up walking on down here. And that is rough ground. Whoa, a big old clod, a big old root ball. There we go. I only had a couple of situations that really balled me up out here. For the most part, it's been pretty smooth. As smooth as this is, anyway. Another root ball. There we go. There we go. Not a very good stand necessarily on this new little section. Next year it's going to be better, so I'll let you guys go. I'll focus on my work and keep on going. Okay, well, I was able to get that accomplished. I was able to band a ½ an acre on, you know, do a double band on my rows, and so I'm very happy about that. I'm using the sweet corn plate on my Earthway is how I done it, and I applied 60 pounds of fertilizer, which is actually 30 pounds of urea in the terms of nutrient, nitrogen. So anyway, I was able to put that on. I feel real good about it. We do have a rain coming, so I'm hoping to have that pushed in, and if it doesn't show, if I don't get the rain, I will hook up the irrigation. We'll get that put on, but I'm very happy to be able to have that done. I was a little bit short, like 3 or 4 pounds, and to count, I would have had that had I not dropped my Earthway a couple of times and tumbled over and whatever, you know, and bounced it around and stuff. But other than that, for the record, a ½ an acre, 60 pounds real weight, 30 pounds nitrogen. I was able to actually use the Earthway and double band my sweet corn. So I'm anxious to see how it looks in a few days. I really am looking forward to seeing that stuff shooting up, giving us a nice year. This is my first year doing it, but I do know that it means it can mean a better year, and I certainly want to do all I can for our customers at the farmers markets. And also I want to welcome the Lenexa farmers market crowd that they have just accepted myself and Delia to go to Lenexa. So thank you all very much for allowing me and my wife to come to your market. We'll do everything we can to explain to you guys what we do as a farm. Happy to show you the farm, and as we grow this business, as we grow this small business. So thanks a lot. Hey, if you like these types of videos, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe. Come grow with us.